Welcome back, everyone. We were last seen on the Caribbean side of Costa Rica in Siquirres, arriving on the edge of a tropical forest to begin our first herping hike. Little did we know what the night had in store for us. Hola, welcome to day 2 for our evening hike, which will go into the late AM. We have been told we will most likely be hiking till 3 AM. We'll see how long and how that goes.
I am hoping that we find a bushmaster, maybe some eyelash vipers.
Yeah, I'm really excited. We just got out of the car, left it back there, and we already found a couple things. Some really cool plants as well as a small little amoeba lizard.
Success already.
Success.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
In order to enter the jungle we would be hiking in that evening, we had to pass through a large meadow. The ground was very uneven, soft, and steep in certain areas. As we approached the edge of the jungle, the calls of a nocturnal bird called the dusky nightjars could be heard in the distance. You could even whistle to them and they would respond.
That's not scary.
Dude, I saw that, thought it was a snake.
Okay everyone, this is a really cool treat. So here you'll see that we have a large line of leafcutter ants making its way down this tree. And if you don't already know, leafcutter ants are super interesting in the way that they will produce their own food by taking leaves from different species of plants, bringing them down into their nest where they're literally farming different types or a certain type of fungi and eating that. So in the same way that people grow different types of fruits and vegetables to eat, they actually are farming their own food underground, and this is part of that process we're witnessing here. I have to kind of keep an eye out while I'm doing this because we did see a few bullet ants, and well, we know how day 1 went for one of our companions here.
That was it. That hurts. It had to have been a bullet ant. It was fuzzy and hard.
I'm so glad that I have freaking rubber boots this time.
Oh! Here we have the first of hopefully many tarantulas. It's a mature male as well. This is incredible. We have a beautiful tarantula out maybe hunting near its burrow. You can see there's little mites crawling on it. It's kind of sad, but hopefully they don't harm the animal too much. It seems very healthy. Nice, really nice tarantula.
Oofa.
What we have here is a really cool trail. We're finding very cool stuff, but like what you just saw, that is kind of the theme of the night, falling down. First one to fall down has to get bit by a bullet ant, and Mike is not immune to this challenge.
You see it? You gotta stop at your own way. Even in the worst case.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, bullet ant.
Oh! Keep your light on?
It's down
I
here.
can go brighter if you want.
Yeah, baby. That's what's up.
There's a bunch of them. So I'm just casually filming these bullet ants. It almost took Mike's life last night. And I have a little Pomelio friend. Oh. If you want to see like how big these are, kind of gives you an idea. They're huge. Really, really big ants. Not to be messed with. By now you need to understand that it had been made clear to us that the most dangerous animals on this trip were the ants. Whether it was Mike's incident last night or Adam's this afternoon, these animals were not to be messed with.
Did you see it?
No.
Is it right there, man? In the hole.
Oh, there. I'm looking in this hole. Wow. Hello.
The chelicerae morphology is different. They have like, they face down like a lot of true spiders, but they don't curl under. Guys, we have a new fogga here, hopping around. Look at these roots, everyone. They're incredible. Comes down like a crazy tripod with more than you try. And as you can see, they're covered in little spikes. So I'm sure this really helps protect the tree or anything wishing to seek refuge down closer to the bottom. But if you look, it's really all just supported by these roots. It's not like they're covering a center trunk. It's all just roots down here that are just all coming up together to literally support the tree like a tripod. It's super cool. That's really special to see.
And then just plain switcheroo.
No?
Guys, what a jewel to have found in the jungle. This is a Crusiohyla sylviae, and you might be familiar with the Craspidopus, member of the genus. Our companion Mike owns a few of them back home, and they're also just beautiful tree frog species. Normally you'll find them really high up in the canopy, but sometimes they're in lower foliage as they're looking for mates. So we've actually been trying to track them with their calls. The males and females have different sounding calls, and we've been very lucky to find this one up here. Okay guys, how do I depict what's going on here? We've been in the jungle now for about, what, 2 hours, guys? Around 2 hours. It's extremely humid, like 95% humidity. Temperature's gone down a bit, but like the day was 29 degrees, so I think it's still around 26. It must be 27. And yeah, so you know, it gets to you. We're going up and down hills, sliding down the clay-based soil, it seems, and there's so much like organic debris breaking down in here that you can't really get a strong footing anywhere you're standing. We've been guided to use our heels as we stomp through, and there's been a few sliding situations. It's been so much fun. What's really cool is the tree behind me here, if you look, is enormous. And in fact, we've been told that it's actually 200 years old approximately. It's just amazing to see this type of life. Yes, it's so cool to see the reptiles, amphibians, and the insects and arachnids and all sorts of cool forms of life, but the plants here and the trees are just so impressive to witness. It's, you know, you watch all these movies like Avatar and you can appreciate places like Pandora, but we have it all here. It's so cool. So guys, we're going along the trail, and here we've come across a species of viper I've never heard of, but it's very beautiful, as most are. This is a Porthidium nasutum, which is the hognose pit viper. And this is just a tiny little juvenile that, again, was just coming along the path here. Yeah, it's just a really cool animal to admire and take a look at.
About 3 hours into our hike, we started to really think about the fact that we had spent that much time moving down a slope. It really felt like we were climbing down the edge of a mountain, and we all started to think about the fact that we would then need to spend an equal amount of time climbing back up that said mountain, which started to make a few of us feel a bit nervous. Okay everybody, this is the coolest thing ever. It's a velvet worm eating a cricket that it just caught, and these animals hunt prey by coming up to them and using these oral tubes on their face to shoot a sticky-like web substance that cements them down to the ground while they crawl up to them and eat them alive. It's such an unusual animal. It's not a worm, it's not an insect, it's in its own phylum called Onychophora, and they're super cool.
Okay guys, so here we have a Leptodera genus cat-eye snake.
Yep.
This is a cat-eye snake. One of the places that you can find these species is closer to pools of water like this, because a lot of amphibians come and spawn here. A lot of different prey options. Very cool animal. No one understands how hard this is. So friends, we are walking a few kilometers through the jungle. We're on our way back. Our companions are feeling it. Mike, how you doing back there, bro? Awful. Awful? Okay, awful. Please remember the sacrifice that went into the making of these videos. Ooh. Okay, watch the footing. Up we go. Okay, Nadim? Okay. Still going up. How's everybody doing? Good. Adam, how are you?
Not so bad, man. It's hot, but it's not that bad.
How you doing?
Buddy, we're in for a long hike back.
As you can see, that's not rainwater. That's sweat.
I do feel like a tree frog, you know.
Is this what you were expecting?
No.
No, de ninguna manera.
But in
Great
a good,
exercise.
In a good way or in a bad way?
No,
Great way.
it's fine.
Okay, that's cool.
The struggle is like a good struggle, and I don't feel like I'm gonna die. I just feel tired. That's all. So this is good, man. And seeing those species, you're never gonna see species like that anywhere else. So definitely worth it.
It makes you excited about showering and resting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that your first time in the tropical forest is with us. I'm very glad about it.
We are
We're
too.
very-
Thank you so much.
He's also
Shout out
excited
to
about
CR Wild.
Yeah.
excited about the group shower after too, I bet.
Action. Action.
Today's video is brought to you by CR Wild, the ultimate way for you to experience the herpetofauna of Costa Rica.
CR Wild is a company in Costa Rica. We like to promote reptile and amphibian conservation in the tropics through science, education, and tourism, of course. We have tailor-made herping expedition night tour. Anything you need in Costa Rica, just click the link below or the pin comment.
Put yourself in our shoes. It's 27 degrees or so, 95% humidity, and you're walking up a continuous slope for the better part of an hour and a half to 2 hours. Thankfully we took breaks, but finally the finish line was here. We recalled that the only time we went up a slope was at the start of our hike, so knowing that we were going down meant that there wouldn't be any more hill climbing. We finally made it out, and it was such a good feeling to have accomplished this hike and experience what we saw. Buenos dias. One of the surprises we did not take for granted was access to a washing machine. Let me tell you, you get sweaty on these hikes. It's so hot and humid, you're sweating all the time. So having the opportunity to wash our clothes for the rest of the trip was very much appreciated. But now let's go see what the Pipa squad is up to. Nadim.
¿Cómo está?
Oh, bien.
So friends, we've been wandering through a few jungles during the day, and that's been a really cool experience because most of our herping has been at night so far. And maybe around an hour ago it was raining really hard, and the sun's sort of coming out again, and we've been seeing a lot of active amphibians. The pumilo are out hopping around through these leaves, and a lot of the vegetation has been rehydrated, you could say. And one of the coolest animals we've come across here that I didn't even know existed in Costa Rica is the ridge-headed salamander. And these are a species of climbing salamander. So one of the first things you'll notice is, morphologically speaking, they have these feet that are truly designed for climbing. Most salamanders have these kind of cute stubby round toes, and maybe they help a bit for digging in the dirt for a sort of fossorial lifestyle. But these animals almost have gecko feet or larger toe pads for climbing up vegetation. And one of the things we noticed earlier is the animal's actually capable of sort of jumping. As we approached it, it sort of leapt forward, and I've never seen a salamander do that. It's truly designed for an arboreal lifestyle. But we've heard that some species of arboreal salamander have a tongue that can kind of shoot out like a chameleon, let's say. Maybe not nearly as far, of course, but to catch their prey, they're supposedly able to do that. But what I have noticed that I find so peculiar is the very cryptic coloration and morphology of the animal. It really mimics a dead leaf, and what I'm reminded of when I see it, color and pattern striping wise, is the Brochysia genus in Madagascar, the tiny little pygmy chameleons you find there. It looks so similar there. It's kind of almost like convergent evolution, if you will. Very interesting and very cool to see this species.
Later that afternoon, we embarked on our journey towards our third night hike herping spot. The sceneries we saw on the way were truly breathtaking. Christian explained to us that we had been given permission to go herping on someone's private land, which could be rich in gems as far as finding animals goes, since it's such an undisturbed area.
Alright guys, so we're just taking a little quick stop as we're driving down, I mean not a mountain, but oh, the rain's coming back. And Nadim is trying not to fall down here, but
What's up, everyone?
he's setting up the drone. I'm gonna take a little flight.
And cut to B-roll in 3, 2, 1.
The road down to this herping spot was super rugged, but at the same time it was so cool to see such lush vegetation during the day because most of our time spent in the jungles was at night.
Honestly, it's incredible, like to just see the plant diversity here. Like look, there's just one shot and you just see so many different kinds of plant. Like just look at that, one shot. It's amazing. I'm so like in love with this ecosystem. This is my first experience being in a true jungle and true tropical forests, and I'm just soaking up every single moment.
Guys, we are in Guayacán, Siquirres. We are getting very close to the Pacuare River. This is a very famous river for the community of indigenous people, which is the Cabecars. So if you are looking this trail, it goes all the way down to the river where they walk. This is a public property. So they walk all the way down, they take the zip line to cross the river. From the river to the forest, get very deep. That's a private property only for the indigenous people given from the government. So nobody is allowed to get inside. That's only land from the indigenous people. So basically this is a trail for indigenous Cabecar in Costa Rica.
The road through the forest came up to a locked gate where we would meet with the property owner who would unlock it, granting us passage. Suddenly, there was some commotion caused by a small yellow animal someone had just placed on the hood of the truck. Excitedly, I made my way over, and at first I had no idea what I was looking at until I realized it was a spider. This has to be one of the most unusual and beautiful spiders I've ever seen in my life. What you're looking at is the flower mimicking crab spider, and they come in 3 color variations. There's a white, purple, and yellow, and apparently the yellow one in particular is the rarest to come across. To put things into perspective, Christian mentioned that he has only seen 2 of these in his life besides this one, so we were just so humbled to have the opportunity to see this animal. Unfortunately, it was missing 2 legs, perhaps because it was attacked by a potential predator, but thankfully you can see that she's getting around just fine. What an incredible animal! We placed her back where she was found and continued down the trail. Dusk was fast approaching, so we enjoyed the river while we could before we would head into the jungle for our hike. It was truly magnificent to behold, and there was plenty of wildlife in the area as well, as you're about to see. Everyone was getting their bodies hydrated and their gear ready as we prepared for what would again be a very lengthy but super enjoyable hike.